Welcome to the part 2 of graphing linear inequalities. In the second part, we're going to talk about graphing more than one linear inequality. It's a system of inequality. It can be two or more. So let us take example. Suppose I want to graph this system of inequality. So first of all, as we said in part 1, we take the equation and we write it as equal. We take two particular points, any points you can take, but 2 points. If x is 0, it will lead us to y is minus 2. And if y is 0, for example, x will be 3. So here I have the line. So I pick the point 0, 0 since the line is not passing through the origin. If I replace it in the inequality, you're going to get 0 minus 0 bigger or equal to 6. Is 0 bigger or equal to 6? So false. What does this mean? So where the origin is, I shade it. So I go to this line. This is the line. It's bold because I have, as you can see, equal. So where the origin is here. So this part is wrong. So if I pick any point here, it will be all wrong. If I pick any point here and I replace it in the inequality, the equation will be true. So I shade that part here. So this part I don't want it. So I get rid of. Now I go to the second equation. I have x less than minus y plus 2. Also, this line will not pass through the origin, so I can take it as a point to check which region I must shade. First of all, I graph x equal minus y plus 2. If y 0, x is 2. If x is 0, y is 2. So I pick the origin, 0 smaller than 2. Yes, true. So where the origin is in the dot line, because I have less dot line, so is it true? So I don't shade it. So here, in the second line, so I shade the part opposite to the origin because this line split the region into two parts, as you can see. I'm shading the above part. Why? Because in this inequality, if I pick the origin, this part is true. So I'm left with this region, which is the accepted. Here the boundary is not included. I put minus. Here the boundary is included because I have equal. So it is accepted. So the region will be this region. So let us go to GeoGebra and to graph these two lines. We're going to see it how the graph looks like. So I have, first of all, let me write these two equations. The first equation was y 2x minus 3y bigger or equal to 6. The second, x less than minus y plus 2. So if I graph it in the GeoGebra, so the first one, 2x minus 3y bigger and equal to 6, and x less than minus y plus 2. So as you can see, as we said, we go to object properties, and the style I do inverse for both because now we shade the wrong part, so I'm left with this region. So as we solve it in the problem, so let us go to another example. Example 5, I have 3 equations. Now we're going to see why I prefer to shade the impossible part, because here we have 3 equations. It will be very clear for us. I graph the first line, 3y equal minus 2x plus 4. I pick 2 points. If x is 0, I have y equal to 3 over 4. If now y is 0, x will be 2. Since the line will not pass through the origin, I pick the origin, as you can see in the second one. In the first one, 0 less than 4. Is 0 less than 4? Yes, true. So I shade in the first one opposite side of 0. So I shade the opposite side of 0 because 0 was true. So since 0 is true, so this is the line I'm talking about. So I shade the opposite part of the origin. And let us go now to the second line. Here I have minus 2y plus x bigger or equal to 4. So I equated to 4. I have the 2 points of intersection. If I replace by 0, you have 0 bigger or equal to 4. 0 bigger or equal to 4 is false. So I shade the region of 0 where 0 is located. So if I go here, this is the second one. So I shade the part where the origin is. So this part is shaded. And for the last one, no need to take particular points because I have a horizontal line y equal minus 3. I want bigger than minus 3. This is y equal minus 3 horizontal line. I want the part through which is bigger. So bigger than minus 3 is the above part, as you can see. So where I shade the part down which is I don't want it. I want bigger, so I shade down. So I am left with this triangle. So here it's minus since dot, here minus, but here the line here is plus, the boundary is not included. Let us go to GeoGebra and check. So I have the first line 3y less than minus 2x plus 4. The second line minus 2y plus x bigger or equal to 4. And the third line, y bigger or equal to minus 3. So here, as you can see, if you shade the right part, it's very difficult to see that this is the accepted part. It will be so confusing and unclear. So that's why I advise always my student to do just the opposite, so that you can see very clear the white region, and the white region will be the possible one. So here the boundary is included. Here boundary is sorry, here it must not be included because I have bigger than 3 only. So here the boundary not included, not included. Only here the boundary is included. Let us take the last example. Here in the last example, I have also 3 equation to 3 unknown. So I graph 2y minus x equal to 0 by taking 2 particular point, and the particular point 2y minus x, you all know it's passing through the origin. So since it's passing through the origin, so I pick if x is 0, y is 0. So that's why if I need to pick a point here, the point must be other than the origin, because origin is on the line. So if I take point 1, 0. If x is 1 and y 0, you're going to get minus 1 bigger or equal to 0. Minus 1 bigger or equal to 0, so it's false. So I shade where the point 1, 0 is. So this is the graph here. So I must shade where the point 1, 0 is. So here, the line is this line where you have AB. Point 1, 0 is here. This line split the region into 2 parts, above part and below part. So I must shade here because it is unaccepted where I pick the point 1, 0. Now if I go back to the second equation, I have y plus 2x bigger than 4. Here I can pick the origin because it's not passing to the origin. I have the 2 points. If x is 0, y is 4. If x is 1, y is 2. You can pick any point you want. You can take, for example, y 0, x, y intercept. If you pick the origin, you're going to get 0 bigger than 4. Is 0 bigger than 4? So false. So in the second line, the place of the origin is wrong. So I have the second line. This is the second line. Where the origin is? The origin is here, as you know. So it's false. So I shade that part. And for the last equation, no need to take particular point. Why? Because already it's very clear, sorry, that I want x bigger than minus 2. X bigger than minus 2 is a vertical line. This is x equal minus 2. I want bigger, so I want that area bigger than minus 2 is correct, so I shade that part. So I'm left with this region. Here minus, the boundary is not included. Here also minus, but here is plus. I'm left with that region. So let us go to GeoGebra and do it. So for GeoGebra, let me do the last one here. So the first equation was 2y minus x, 2y minus x bigger or equal to 0. The second one was y plus 2x bigger than 4. And the last one, x bigger than minus 2. Similarly, as you can see, if you want to locate this one, it's very difficult for us to locate the three accepted parts. So that's why we always go and do the opposite. So this is the inverse for the first one, the inverse for the second, and the inverse for the third one. And you're going to get the part that I'm talking about here, not included, not included, and included. Thank you for listening, and see you tomorrow.